Howdy folks, welcome back to another World of Tanks replay with the mighty Jingles. It's Type 59 day again. Recently, finally got my first skill. Yeah, I know, it's camouflage. My first skill on my Type 59 crew to 100% and allowed me to unlock the second set of skills. Am I going to pay to swap these skills over? Actually, you know what? No. I quite like, I know it sounds crazy, I quite like having camouflage as the first skill on the Type 59. And when you see the replay I've got lined up for you, you'll understand why. I accept it is probably not the best choice, but, well, we'll say no more. Wait until you see the replay. So, yeah, Type 59, great tank. One of my all-time favourites. I never bought it when it first became available. I was one of those guys who staunchly resisted buying the thing. Because it was so... It wasn't that it was overpowered. I mean, it's a good tank, and it was the first premium tank that was as good, if not better, than equivalent tanks of the same tier. I mean, if you looked at the Churchill, the Matilda, the Lerva, the KV5, Lerva and KV5 in particular, they're decent tier 8 premium tanks, but there's no way they're better than any of the other tier 8 heavy tanks. The Type 59 was really the very, very first of the premium tanks that was as good, if not better, than the other tanks of the same class and tier. I would put a Type 59 up against the T44 any day of the week. I would put a Type 59 up against a Pershing any day of the week, or a Panther II any day of the week. I'm not saying it's better than any of those tanks, but it's as good as any of those tanks in its own ways. Obviously there are some things about it that aren't as good, and other things about it that are as good. I mean, it's definitely got the worst gun, no question about it. The gun is not the strong point of this tank, never has been, never will be, but it gets the job done. Armour wise from the front, yeah, great tank. Little bit of angling, you can bounce all different kinds of shots. The turret, superbly well armoured. Mobility, well, it ain't as fast as the T44, but it's fast enough. It ain't as fast as the Panther II, but it's fast enough. It's manoeuvrable enough, and the gun gets the job done. And this really was the first. It was a big shock for a lot of people, because they expected a premium tank to be better than a stock tank of the same tier, but not as good as a fully upgraded tank of the same tier, because that's the way all the premiums had been up until that point. And the Type 59 was a rude awakening. And people just weren't used to premium tanks that were, frontally at least, that well armoured. Although you'd expect they should have been, because the KV5 had been around for a while. But the KV5 was kind of underpowered in that its gun was just not good enough for the games it got into. Whereas with the Type 59, well, the gun isn't its strong point, it is good enough for the games it gets into. And that came as a shock to a lot of people. Plus the fact that every man and his dog had a Type 59, and the matchmaker loved to give you games with a whole bunch of heavy tanks on one side and 8 Type 59s on the other. And these things would wolf pack up like crazy, and they were just an unstoppable Chinese horde. And so everybody hated Type 59s, and that's why I didn't buy one originally. I really do regret it now, because this is one of my favourite tanks ever, and it's such a good money maker. Anyway, enough about the tank. Let's crack on with the replays. I've got 2 clips for you. One's just quite a short one, just illustrating a little brawling fight, and then another one is one of the most frustrating games I have played in living memory, with one of the worst teams I've had to play with in living memory. But, well, no spoilers. You'll see how the game developed. So here we go. You know, one of the questions I get asked quite a lot, because I keep going on about how great the Type 59 is, well, is it really that good of a brawling tank? Well, hopefully this is going to answer that question. So, an AMX 1390, an IS-8, 2 Type 59s and a T54. And we've got a couple of guys on our flank, and a Lorraine 40T who's already taken a hit. Trying to hammer at this guy. He keeps giving me the side of his turret, and it'd be really rude of me. Keep them pinned in position so these guys behind us can help. And he gives me the back of his turret again. And here comes a T-54 and a Type 59. Focusing on the Lorraine. Sensible thing to do, given the circumstances. Oh, now here comes a Tiger 2 as well.
Get going.
I'm sitting here on 21%, so I'm quite happy to let that DB go ahead and take the first hit. And here comes the IS-8. And our support is rapidly evaporating here. And I make the decision to go around here and finish off that Tiger 2. Because he's only on 1%. But couldn't get a shot at his lower plate. And oh crap, IS-8. And he fires. Yeah. So, yeah, did we win that game? Can't remember, don't really care to be honest. That was a hell of a good fight. You know, you get me into a fight in the Type 59 or any tank, any good medium tank, good brawling medium tank, which the Type 59 definitely is. And if you needed proof of it, look no further than that little clip. A good brawling dogfight in a good medium tank, I love. And I don't care if I win or lose, as long as it's a good, solid, slugging fight like that. You don't get them very often. You need teammates who, you know, who have a pair of balls and aren't afraid of getting stuck in. And you need the right opponents who also aren't afraid of getting stuck in. It doesn't happen very often, but when it does, oh, that was just awesome. And when I get a fight like that, I don't care if I win or lose, it's a good fight. So yeah, is the Type 59 that good of a brawler? Well, you know, draw your own conclusions. What do you think? But, well, this is the game that I really wanted to show you in the Type 59. This was one of the worst teams in living memory. We're defending Malinovka, which is normally not that difficult to do. You just have to get off the bloody hill. Of course, for the majority of the team, that proved to be too difficult a concept for them to grasp. So keep an eye on the map, and I'm going to go head off down towards the church, get in the woods there, and scout and block and kill most of the enemy team. And watch what happens on the other side. One heavy, 2 light tanks. Now, when you do come down off the hill on Malinovka, you have to get people into these bushes. Just clustering around the church doesn't do any good, because you can't see through the church. It just amazes me that this needs pointing out. It's a solid object, you can't see through it. Sitting behind the church doesn't do you any good. So, myself and this T-34-85. Now this guy was a good player. He wasn't in the best tank, but he you know, he did the best he could. The Super Pershing over there, he did a reasonable job. Pretty much everybody else, utter failure. Okay, A-20's made a scouting run, but A20s aren't very good. So we need to maximise the amount of fire that we can put into these fellas, which ends up not being a lot. Now that T-34-85 has been spotted, so he's pulling back. Now I take a lot of flack for having camouflage on all of my crew on my Type 59, but you know what? It saved my life in this game. And well, it didn't just save my life, it basically won the game for the team. And you'll see what I mean. Here they come. "120 metres.
That's gotta hurt.
He hasn't seen me. Now bear in mind that all of these bushes, a lot of people think, and look at this target, he's 80 metres away, and he hasn't seen me, and I'm firing at him. In fact, I killed him, and I'm still not being shot at. Now, a lot of people think that when you fire, you lose all camo value from the bushes that you're hiding behind. Well, that's not true. You lose all but 15% of the camo value from the bushes that you're hiding behind. And I happen to have a very, 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 very good camo rating on my Type 59 because all of my crew have 100% camo. So you would be amazed, if you're in good cover like this, how close they need to get before they spot you. 98 metres. He has no idea I'm here.
Looks like that one went right through.
Nobody's even shot at me yet, let alone hit me. So not only am I pretty much almost single-handedly blocking the entire attack coming up this hill, I'm also scouting the entire attack coming up this hill. That 3001P hasn't had enough, he's going to have another go. Here he comes.
Penetration.
Super Persian gets the kill. But have a look at the other side of the map. Oh, T-34-85. Okay, now I have been spotted.
They're hit.
But it just bounces off my turret, so I ain't going to push my luck. I'll pull back. Keep changing my position in case RT has developed an interest in me. And they pop off the radar, which means I've popped off their radar. Break cover, move back to my spotting position. But look at the map. Look what's going on the other side. Absolutely nothing. And I start to really start to lose my temper. I've been playing the ARL V39 all day, and that's enough to test anybody's patience, and then I ended up in this game with this team. I really lost my rag. So, and I make no apologies for my foul language in battle chat here, because this team deserved it. And those heavies are not going to get off the hill. Well, they're going to be forced to defend themselves very, very soon, because they're already starting to get picked off by artillery because they're being spotted from the woods. And I decide, and there it is, fuck it, this side, charge with me and sweep around. And who goes with me? Absolutely fucking no one.
We just dinged him.
So it's me versus a Tiger 2.
Bounced off.
Now, I'm trying to
One of our tracks is hit.
put these shots
Penetration.
like that through his driver and radio operator's viewports. And finally we get a bit of support.
We've got them.
One more shot, that's all it's going to take.
They're knocked
Got him.
out. One of our tracks was hit.
Now we need to sweep round, kill their artillery, and then come up the other side of the field. And we literally end up doing a full friggin' circuit of this entire map, because nobody else would move. And if you look at the map, these pricks on the hill are being forced to fight, because half the enemy team is coming up that hill, because they wouldn't send enough down into the woods to hold it. I was convinced. I mean, there's only so much you can do, even in, you know, a Type 59 in a Tier 8 game. This fella comes with me, fair play, you know, good player. Not in the best tank in the game, but he had a, you know, at least he had a go. Did more than most of the people on the hill combined. Now we need to get that artillery, and then we can sweep up around the other side of the map. There it is. And they're capping. Now that Super Pershing is in the ideal position, parked around the corner of that church, to reset the cap. Don't forget all that frontal double spaced armour that the Super Pershing has. I'm losing my temper in chat again. Yeah, all that frontal spaced armour the Super Pershing has means he can poke his nose around the corner of that church and just reset the cap at will. And to give him credit where credit's due, he does that. But now we need to haul ass, me and this T-34-85, and get around here. 2 minutes to go. We just need to not die and not let them cap for 2 minutes. And as long as I can stay alive, I can do that. I think the old Super Pershing up there is letting the cap extend, and then there you go, then he pops out and resets it. And those pricks on the hill were forced to defend themselves and actually contribute towards the outcome of the game. And now we've got this KV-5 in a bad position. No matter which way he turns, he's going to be presenting a flank to either me or that Super Pershing. Our T-34-85 over here has drawn his bead on that 3001P and kills him. And all they have left is that KV-5 and a Tiger. So he's presenting his flank to me. Oh, now he's turning. But if he's doing that, there we go, reset the cap. If he's doing that, the Super Pershing has a shot in his flank. Oh, he's... No, T-34-85 is still alive, but he's clearly pointing his gun at him. Come on, I might have to switch to HE here. Shooting at the front of the KV-5 is a tough prospect. That Tiger's going back. T-34-85's dead. But we've tracked this KV-5 with his flank dead on to the Super Pershing. And he's just harmlessly bouncing shots off my turret. But let's not make it easy, let's just give him even less of my turret to shoot at. Switch to HE. Even HE isn't doing damage, but 13 seconds to go. We've done it. Oh, what a game. We deserve to lose. Simple as that. With the exception of 3 players. Myself, that T-34-85 and that Super Pershing. The team were utter retards. And the enemy team weren't bad. They were just outfought in the wood. Well, they were out-scouted in the woods. And they totally dominated on this side and overrun these pricks who wouldn't get off the top of the hill. But it was too little too late. Thanks to the efforts of 3 players, we managed to get a win. And how did we do? Well, unbelievably, I actually got a sniper badge out of that, Type 59. But I had time to aim my shots and make sure they hit, because I was in good cover and I had such good camo skill. And we got 3 kills, and we damaged a whole bunch of them and detected a couple. 20 shots fired, 19 hit the target. We took 8 hits. That's not strictly an accurate representation of the damage that we took. These small things... Oops. I forgot to hit pause. Well, to summarise, That was a 98,000 credit game. Those small hits, they were collision damage from myself against that Tiger 2. We actually only took, from the 8 shots fired at us, 2 proper damaging hits. At least 2 of them were eaten by our tracks, and the rest all just bounced off our turret. And we earned over 5,000 XP, tripled, and 98,000 credits out of that game. So that was the Type 59, in an intensely frustrating and very foul language from my behalf match, defending Malinovka. Just proving once again, as if it needed further proof, that the Type 59 really can do it all when it has to. So I hope you enjoyed the replay, and I'll catch you next time. Hopefully with a more civil tongue in my head for my teammates, and in a better frame of mind. Catch you next time.